that we have studied and claimed over time and again that it does affect.
It would set the minimum limit.
And it does. There is a range at which you see the horizon.
Yeah,
it's like,
and we see way
it's
past
never
it.
more than like half a degree beyond the geometric prediction.
You're talking about light now. You're
Nobody,
not talking about
we
you're not
all,
talking about a physical edge.
everybody here agrees that we see the horizon
switch?
Through atmosphere.
Not the geometric.
Dave,
not the geometric.
Interrupt people again. You should stop that.
Yeah,
well, he switched. He switched the argument for some reason.
What did I did not switch. All right. We're working off an argument you have made for us. You have straw man us into
Should we have
claiming
plenty
that
of pictures of this geometric horizon in 2020? You guys see it all the time. You measure it. So where is it at? Can I see a picture of it? One picture, please, of the geometric horizon.
Any picture of the horizon.
Oh, but everybody here agrees that we view
sakes,
the geometric horizon through the atmosphere. There's nothing to get because your argument's silly.
Yeah, I get it.
So you've never seen the actual geometric one. You only see the apparent one, so you have no clue, correct?
Again,
wait,
no, that's not what I said. I said I go ahead, next.
I'm sorry. It's not no clue. It's a far cry from no clue. What we have said is we can measure where it visibly is. We can mathematically predict where it should be with and without atmosphere, and then compare the two. And the last thing I said was that the apparent horizon always appears within a fraction of a degree of where it should be, which is pretty convenient for us. Does that make sense?
So when it's 10 miles, you know, it's okay, right? 10 miles.
10 miles what?
Right? 10 miles out, past oil rigs and everything else. You can go out into the ocean and see way too damn far, see the horizon at 10 miles plus, and you're going to tell me that that's okay. All the time. Where's the geometric one?
And how far off from the geometric is that 10-mile horizon? In terms of degrees.
You tell me. It's supposed to be 1.225, right? Service feet in height?
Well, I'm not sure that answered the question. We're talking about a vertical angular measurement of where the horizon is. And I'm asking how far up or down is the apparent horizon you're seeing at 10 miles? Is that a question you can answer or no?
I keep asking you to show me the geometric one. You keep telling me the apparent one you keep seeing. It's only supposed to be a little bit further, a degree off. How can you show me it's a degree off? You have no clue, right? Because how do you know how far it's off? Because you've never seen it.
Well, actually,
that's not true. People posted pictures of it in the chat.
How did you measure it? You said it's a degree off. Where was the geometric one? We're trying to explain that. Please show me how you measure that geometric horizon. Where is it?
Well, why do you? Well, first of all, you've got to understand that everybody sees the horizon through the atmosphere, which means it's always going to be apparent.
How are you ever measuring the geometric one? How did you ever measure the geometric one then if you always see the apparent one, it's not correct?
Why do we need to measure the geometric one?
Because it has to be correct, immensely accurate. That's what NASA says. It's an immensely accurate radius, right, for this ball. So therefore, what should happen?
Again, she's pretending that we derive the radius of the Earth by measuring the distance of the horizon. I don't know why you keep pretending.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter about this is horizon. You have a radius, Jem. Whether you like the radius or not, you said you don't need one. You need one for a spear.
Which is not determined by measuring the distance of the horizon, as you've been told about 1,000 times. Why do you keep...
I don't care, but I'm asking for your sphere where your geometric one is that you keep claiming that you guys can measure, but I've never seen, and you've never seen, but you can measure it. You always see an apparent one.
And it's apparently very close to the geometric one. But
how do you know it's so close? If you don't know and you've never seen the real one, the geometric one, right? Then how do you know how far it's off?
Well, if its nature is geometric, that means I can geometrically predict its location, right?
Right, so you're guessing where it's going to be. Oh, it's supposed to be here on my ball. My math, wait. My math say it's going to be here, so it's going to be there. Sorry, whatever I'm seeing is incorrect. It's an apparent horizon, and there's a geometric one based on my math. That's what you're saying.
If you don't know where it's supposed to be, how are you supposed to know where it should be just by looking?
Why did you ever think there was one?
No, why aren't you answering the question?
I would never think it was on a ball unless I was told it was on a ball. Why would you ever think you're on a ball and never seen a geometric horizon and you've never measured one like nobody ever has, right?
Why don't you answer the question?
What do you think what does geometric horizon mean to you?
For the hell's sake, this is what you guys do, right? This is going to keep going on and on because you've already done this to go in circles. I'm asking for why you've ever claimed that there's a geometric horizon if nobody's ever seen it. You said it's always the apparent one you see, which is not the real physical. Wait, which is not the real physical one that you're claiming that there is. So how can you claim something physical that you've never seen because you always see something that's apparent?
Well, how do you know that it's only apparent? If
For
you
the
have
love
nothing,
of God, you just said that. Are you guys not hearing yourself even?
Well, the problem is I'm using the
point.
logic that you're applying to this argument against you.
Well, good job, because I think you just got it. No, I'm agreeing. Yes.
Turn your question back on yourself, sir.
What
was the geometric horizon?
I know. How would you have known that you've seen the geometric horizon?
Exactly. How do you know you're seeing it?
That's our point.
Guys,
Thank you. Welcome to my reality. Thank you.
This is not an argument worth making, guys.
How can we answer that question, Mr. Scott, if he doesn't even know where the geometric horizon is? Yeah. Nobody knows where the geometric horizon is. Nobody knows.
All he did was turn the burden of proof on something that can't be proved on somebody else.
I'll tell you why it's silly, though. Just think about how silly it is,
because you think you live on a sphere with no geometry.
I don't get this.
No geometry. That's silly.
Nobody says
well, you tell me when you're done repeating no geometry over and over, and then I'll get to say an actual argument.
The hint should have been when I went on mute.
I'm not sure what that means. So if the criteria that you guys are using is that if you are seeing anything that's different than the absolute actual position or actual existence of something, then you don't know anything about it, right? It must be an illusion, or we can't talk about it, or we can't reason about it.
But it makes it that much.
I'm not sure what you. Well, I'm not. What is it in this world that we look at? Do you think we aren't seeing something displaced? That we are. What actual thing are we looking at all? I mean, everything that reaches our eyes is not showing us where something actually is, right? It's just showing us where it apparently is. We're never actually seeing it in the exact actual position, right?
But your ball claims that there isn't actual position.
But I'm saying there's nothing in the universe, right? There's not your spouse, your friend, not your house. You would never look at anything and see the actual position, right?
But that would be like your house being there one day and then disappearing the next day and not being there, or you being there one day and changing form into an aardvark. That's the thing that's happening.
It's making the point that look, we don't ever see anything absolutely
a solid geometric basis.
Get the pin real fast, Scott. He just said that let's say that light bending is the same as your house transforming into an aardvark.
That answers Negator's. Hold on. Yeah. That answers Negator's question about how do we know it's always apparent. Veach just told you how we know.
Technically. Yeah, then everything's apparent. The entire everything we see. So is it a bad thing? No, obviously not.
But you are not apparent. You have a form that is definitive and is not going to change from day to day and not be there.
That's not.
You don't have a definitive.
But it is apparent, right? Because
geometric horizon.
Because you're not seeing where I am in space.
Exist because we're not in a ball, not on a ball.
But we are apparent, Living, because when you see me, right, you're not seeing where I exist in space at that moment. You're seeing where I existed in space when the light reflected off me. You're seeing where I was in the past, somewhat. You're never actually seeing my true position, right? You're seeing.
You have a definitive
form has nothing to do with it.
Form.
But you're seeing
Can I smack you if you're in front of me? Like you're right in front of me, I can hit you. You're physical, right? I'm hitting the ground, touching the ground, physical, right?
And the horizon will do the same thing to light. It will obstruct it. You can hit the horizon with light. You can't get through it. The same kind of stuff applies.
But it will not be a globe obstruction. It will not be a hump of Earth curvature. It will at best be a 2D optical representation of a flat plane.
It's the peak of a curve that we call the horizon. It's going to be dependent upon where you stand. Its apparent location is going to be affected ever so slightly by refraction and also by things like the time it takes light to reach your eyes, as everything is.
Then prove
These things are not significant.
Shoot a laser to
we can still talk and reason about it.
Shoot a laser to the
and we
hump.
do to reason to talk about it.
Shoot a laser to the hump.
Not the least of which is that Lemon, you've interrupted me just to start repeating yourself in like a weird rant slash
whatever,
like chant.
Shoot a laser to the
hump. It's very reasonable. So I'm going to finish my sentence if you don't mind. We also have these pictures from long distance satellites, like this one from 1 million miles away. Now, I don't know whether or not you could say refraction is affecting the edges of that sphere, but I would say that it isn't. Certainly not in any kind of measurable way. So I'm not sure why you guys wouldn't call that an example of looking at the geometric horizon.
An example of looking at a geometric horizon. I don't want to claim there's a geometric horizon unless I can find that and see that. And that's the problem, is there's a claim that there is one for a sphere, but nobody ever sees it. And it could be this, it could change, right? Your apparent one could change all the time, and you're believing that there's a geometric one with an exact measurement, right?
What I said, though, to Stacey, is if you look at the pictures from, like, say, Discover Satellite, are you not looking at a geometric horizon then?
That were a ball, yeah. They were real. If it were real.
They're cutting out for everybody else, it's just me.
Just you.
Every spherical object in the universe must have a geometrical horizon.
Absolutely, Brent. Wow.
And we see it when we take a picture of it from, say, 1 million miles away. We have lots of those of Earth. So those pictures of Earth from space, from far away, show us the geometric horizon.
Mr. Scott, let me try and make it a little bit easier for you. Every object that we see obstructed, like, like when Sheeple comes in with the mountain and he says, look, the bottom of it is obstructed, right? So what he can tell us is how much of the mountain is missing. He's now using geometry. He's now saying, look, there's the physical edge, there's your horizon, the physical Earth being blocking the mountain. Now we can calculate. And what we're saying is, well, your calculations will be different tomorrow, Mr. Scott, because that horizon that you see blocking that mountain may be lower, may be higher, it may be behind the mountain. So when we talk about the actual physical geometrical, we want what Sheeple is saying. Sheeple has got the right idea. He's saying, look, this mountain is obstructed by a physical Earth. That's it. That shouldn't change now ever again. You see?
If it's gonna change, how different is it gonna be? Would you say?
Well, that's the point. What should change is the object behind the physical horizon, not the horizon itself.
If it's going to change at a magnitude less than, say, the amount of error that's built into your measuring devices, then it's not going to be something you would notice. If it's going to change at a magnitude that's even close, you're not going to notice. And maybe in some rare cases, on some unusual days, you're going to have significant change due to refraction effects, but that's not that surprising, and it's easily gotten around. The vast majority of the time, though, you're going to get basically the same answer.
But if that's the case, then but when you say this, you're throwing out geometry, because remember, this is key. When Sheeple shows his mountain photograph and says, look, the mountain is obstructed, he's now invoking geometry. He's saying, look, I can tell you how much is missing. How's he doing this? Is he guessing? No. He's calculating his height. He's calculating the distance. He's calculating what. So that's the point. That should be the end of the subject.
He's calculating how much refraction is in the air, right?
No, he's saying this is a physical obstruction.
No, of course he is.
No, he's not.
Calculating that too.
No, he's not.
Of course he is.
When you hold on. When you show a boat that's obstructed bottom first,
you're missing a point that Chemo got away with there for a second.
When you see a boat starting to disappear bottom first, you don't count for refraction. You say it's just missing bottom first. That's it.
Of course you do. Of course you count for refraction. What are you talking about?
So that boat that you keep on showing, that big red boat and the blue or something there with the containers on it. So what refraction are you accounting for? You say it's disappearing over the horizon.
I'm not sure what boat. I don't know about.
It's got the containers on the back of it.
I don't know which boat. I don't know the boat we're talking about. But even if you show it to me, I won't have done the math because I don't know what you're talking about. So.
Yeah, but the point.
If you want to know what to expect, you're going to need to know what to expect from refraction. You're going to want to know something about the atmospheric conditions.
Take this one here.
The extent to which you don't know that, or the extent to which you're guessing, is going to give you a little bit of error. But then again, sources of error are abundant.
Chemo. More importantly, I'd like to know the refraction Soundly is accounting for with all those bridge pictures, because they have temperature inversions there daily, multiple times a day. Each different side of the lake has different climates. It's crazy. What's Soundly's refraction numbers?
Is it crazy though, Jeremy? Is it really crazy there? Do you think there's like really, really extreme weather conditions at Lake Pontchartrain that we just can't Really?
The worst place on earth, he says.
For what?
For taking long-range observations because of these...
Close to the water, sure, but he went way up into the Marriott.
Yep.
And who says it's the worst place on earth? I mean, the Earth's a big place. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just saying, you guys used to say the Black Swan was the worst spot and time on Earth to take pictures, when really it was
we never said that. What are you talking about?
Actually, you could argue that the Black Swan location is a terrible location, considering that the air temperature and the water temperature offer greater than 30 degrees Fahrenheit in difference. That'll give you a lot of refractive effects.
I've never heard anyone make an argument that's somehow uniquely bad place, but if you want to make it, you can. But
no, I'm not going to say it's uniquely bad, but I'll be on one of the people to come out and say that anytime that you've got an air and water temperature that different, you're going to get some effects.
Soundly's bridge has temperature inversions, though. You know what that means?
It means that you can go up high and avoid most of the issue.
Sinking. That's what you're going to get out of that.
Well, refraction can happen on either model. That's why it's best to just factor it out and just talk about the geometric basis for
just pretend it's not there when you say factor it out.
Well, the thing is, the Globers are using it as an excuse for any amount of horizon or refraction that they need. So
we should just pretend it's not there then, because it's inconvenient for you.
It's best to factor it out, since the flat earthers can use it as a similar excuse, because then they can just say, oh, refraction.
Well, so we should just pretend reality's different from what it is to make arguments more convenient. Is that what you're saying?
You're assuming that reality is on your side. It's not. It appears to be flat and motionless. Your side is denying reality, actually. Reality actually goes with the flat side, not the other.
Well, what you just claimed is there's refraction in your model as well as mine, but you want to just go ahead and pretend there isn't any on either. So
neither side can just use it as an excuse to make.
But we are pretending reality is different from what it actually is, aren't we? In order to make arguments more convenient.
No, you're trying to make your model unfalsifiable by giving it any amount of refraction.
Well,
so at that point, we're not even talking about.
We haven't given it any amount of refraction, have we? It's just you guys have never ever produced. Listen. You guys have never produced an observation that shows enough of something that we shouldn't see. To coin a phrase, where we've needed to just use it as an excuse. All of the times when we've said refraction, it's well within a tiny amount of refraction, under a half a degree, as has been said.
Our side has actually mapped out refraction based on degrees above the horizon. And that's why I asked earlier, how much is it being refracted by? How much is it off by the expectation? And there's no answer, because you guys don't ever measure. You just look at it and say, hey, look, it exists. Okay, great. How bad is it? And nobody seems to know.
It's pretty bad.
Especially in the Gator sense, since the way that they would have to have refraction would mean that all of refraction works backwards.
Yeah, never mind that.
But then they can't show an experiment that it exists like that. We've talked about this before a million times. I feel like we talk about all this stuff all the time, and then Jim gets mad when we go back to the radius. But that's the whole point.
Stacy, is there a point where
refraction, but then you can't prove that refraction.
Okay, Stacy, I can ask you. Let me ask you a point on that.
Radius.
Of course we can prove refraction, and again, we don't measure the radius by looking at the horizon. You can just keep pretending that that's true because quantum eraser told you it was.
No, because you told me it's surveying, but surveying goes based on what? The presupposed dimensions of where did it get those from?
That's not true.
You will not concede to that. Yes, it is true. It says it on Google if you don't even believe it. Look it up.
Because I told you about how when we first made these measurements, they weren't based on presupposed measurements or anything that you just claimed. That's not true. Now, hang on. I went through a whole thing with you that I've been with you through 3 times now already, where I talked about the French-Spanish geodesic mission and how at that time we didn't know whether the Earth was oblate or whether it was stretched at the poles. And they went and made these measurements specifically to answer that question. So how could they answer the question of whether the Earth was oblate or not if they were already assuming that it was oblate?
Yeah, and they looked through a theodolite. Did they account for refraction?
Oh,
They made
People in the 1700s?
They made multiple measurements. It took them 10 years to complete the survey.
Yeah, so they didn't account for refraction.
How could you possibly know that?
Yes.
No. Jim, I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I think you just need to admit the truth that Jeremy here is right. That those professionals had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, they all just guessed, made it up.
Yeah, they just, Jeremy.
Well, you want to take my argument to the absurdity when the realization.
Your argument is absurd to say that. Your argument is absurd.
3 more words.
You're right, man. Hang on, I need to learn some surveying for my 4-year-old.
First of all,
apparently people that have done it have no idea what's going on.
Jeremy, I sent you that PDF describing how geodesic survey is done. Did you take a look at it at all?
I've DM'd Sal.
I know I did, and I even have a little clip where it says right on there that it's based on presupposed dimensions already. It says it in the damn thing.
It doesn't.
Can you show me that?
It says
presupposed.
It does, Jim. I'll have to go back over this stuff because it's actually in your DMs. Remember we had that conversation back and forth? I'll find it.
Yeah, I do remember, and it doesn't say that. It definitely doesn't say the word presupposed.
Say it. 1 second.
Yeah.
Right.
It says, oh my God, the pre-dimensions. It says talk of the dimensions they already have. Yes, it does.
And if you read the sentence after it, it talks about how those dimensions are gathered, I think, or something like that. Mentions something like that.
Which means they're not presupposed, which means it means they're measured.
I've DM'd Soundly. He hasn't DM'd me back. He's clearly scared. He knows I'm about to blow the lid off this whole bridge.
I mean, think about what you're saying, Stacey. You're actually saying that what you think has happened is
I'm right here. Make your argument.
That somewhere along the line, somebody just guessed at the size of the Earth, or presumably, I think you think, went with Al-Biruni's measurement, and they've just gone with that since. And all these people that made these measurements, they were all totally reliant on that. Why were they making measurements? What were they making measurements of if they already knew the dimensions and they were using them? What for?
So, Jen, can I introduce?
Does it make any sense what you're saying?
Can I introduce the evidence I gave to Jeremy yesterday in a private message? So there are 2 types of geodesic survey. One in which we assume a flat plane. This one only works over short distances because that assumption comes with a huge error base when you try to apply it over large distances. However, if you actually take the Earth's curvature into account, you get correct calculations, but they're very complicated. It's stated right there. So yes, you do take that into account when you're doing this type of surveying, but it's because you want to be accurate when you're doing the survey. That's not a flaw with the surveying technique. That's just what they realized is required to be accurate.
All right, Soundly, what I need is a picture of the bridge and all the information you have with it. Or can you link me one of your YouTube clips or something?
Send him a link to your channel. Jeez.
No, just give me one. I can only tear you down one piece at a time.
What a strange request. All the information. All
the information, but I'm only gonna.
What are you asking for?
One at a time.
I need a picture of the picture of the bridge while it's curving, the time it was taken, any atmospheric data you have, and that's it.
You has all of that publicly available, don't you? On your drive, on your.
You can look. You can look at Get 2019 playlist, a 10-hour live stream on my channel, where Jesse's taking all the measurements and doing the GPS profile, and I'm filming for like 10 hours.
I really don't want to go through a 10-hour thing. I could just do a picture and the data.
Okay, well then no.
Well, I think he has. I thought Soundly had at one time.
Why don't you let Soundly tell us what he has?
You're asking him to cherry pick a photo so that you can claim he cherry pick
your photo.
No,
cherry pick your
you're asking him to do.
Look at my channel in whole, or don't look at it at all. I'm not going to.
So you're not going to provide any evidence.
He's not going to jump through hoops for you.
Exactly. I don't jump through hoops. Task setting is not something.
No, you're not going to provide. All right.
The evidence is provided, Jeremy. It's just not provided.
Where is it?
Version.
On my channel. It's on the site. Stop being such a baby, Jeremy. Come on.
I don't know Soundly's site. I don't have his website or his.
Just put fucking Soundly. Just put Soundly into YouTube.
I don't know why it's so hard to just give a picture.
Doesn't know how to spell soundly, guys.
I'm so helpless. Please, guys, I'm helpless. I don't know how to use the internet. I'm just a dumb girl.
Jeremy, ask your 4-year-old child to do it for you.
I'm here for the lols, man. I'm not here to task run for you. Come on.
Can't provide any evidence. All right.
Yeah.
Ask your daughter to look it up for you.
Okay, Jeremy. Soundly is spelled SOUNDLY. Now, I'm pretty sure.
This is the one that goes like a snake.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, like when you open your mouth. Oh, and you are fucking pathetic. Get on there. 10 hours. Exactly. That S. Look for that picture. I know you like pictures. Look for the S. 10 hours is a lot less time than you've wasted.
I'm asking for something real.
10 hours is a lot less of the time you've wasted on Flat Earth already.
Let Stacey get in, because I've been shouting at her. So.
Well, actually, I've been trying to ask Stacey a question for a while now. She keeps saying, "Show us that refraction works over these long distances." Stacey, is there any indication that you have? Let me go ahead and get this out. Is there any indication you have that light will not bend towards the denser medium given a certain distance that it travels?
I never said that light can't slightly bend, not in the minute you're saying. You can't show me that it can do that.
Do you have any reason to believe that we know that light over short distances bends towards the denser medium? Do you have any reason to assume that it won't bend towards the denser medium if the light travels further?
For that at 53 miles.
I have no idea what that means. I ask you a question. Can you answer the question, or are you going to
Can I get back to what I'm talking about with Jim? Because all you want to do is talk about refraction. We've already gone over a million times, and even Jim has with me on the servers and the sugar medium. We know about all this.
I just wanted a simple answer, and you're trying to run from it.
I want to get back to what is actually Jim said that doesn't exist, right? In the article. Hang on. What does it read? I put it in the live stream on the debate, whatever you would call it, debate chat.
Right. Let's see.
Basing on a.
Where is it? I don't see it.
All right.
And if you don't put the whole thing in, I'm going to ask you for the document. So, where is it?
One of the first things you Google on what it is. It explains what.
Where is it, Stacey? I can't see it. What? Google what?
It's in the debate chat. I just put it in there. It's right there. And you could also Google that exact thing and what surveying is and what it does.
Just give him a timestamp, Stacey. My God.
Oh, God. How difficult is it? Oh, right. Here it is.
Oh, it's not that far ago. Hang on a second.
Right. So I've got it now. Got it now. All right. Hang on.
I thought you were asking for the full article. My bad.
Right. Let's see where it says this. It is true that the Earth. Okay. It is true that the Earth's dimensions must be known to enable the exact computation of positions. But it is also evident that before these dimensions can be determined, it is necessary to carry out the geodetic trigonometrical survey. Right? So that specifically says the opposite of what you're saying.
Keep going, Jim. You forgot that's where you're about to get to the whole point.
All right. Actually, the position is that geodetic surveys are carried out firstly to establish rigid coordination of all surveys, basing the computations on a previously known value of the Earth's dimensions. And right.
Thank you.
So, right. Hold on.
So why are we going to pass that up?
You're missing the point, Stacey.
Yeah, it says firstly to establish.
I'm not missing the point. I think you guys are missing the point. That's what I'm saying.
He thinks Earth dimensions means round and R value.
You have to know the dimensions to establish a position. You can determine the dimensions without knowing the exact position you're in. That's what you're missing, Stacey.
And this is making a distinction between surveys and geodetic surveys. It's saying, look, firstly to establish rigid coordination of all surveys, basing the computations, I'm going to say brackets, of those surveys on a previously known value of the Earth's dimensions. Nobody's saying that they don't do that. Ultimately, that previously known value had to be derived from somewhere. This says there is a value. So how did we get that value, Stacey? That's the important thing.
Right.
Right. So how do you claim that we got it? You're going to talk about Al-Biruni, aren't you?
I'm not claiming it. You guys are claiming that it
No,
already.
you are specifically claiming that we have a value to work from and that we always just go with that value. And when people go out and measure stuff, they're not really measuring it. They're just going with what they already knew. That's your claim. So if there is a value, where did that value come from?
Yes, and I keep asking you that. You won't answer me.
Well, and again, I've explained it to you, and I've given you an example of how we went and measured the Earth, and at the time we measured it,
I want to know exactly how you got that.
And
you guys get that?
And I gave you an example, and you just deny it and say, "Oh well, they must have known the Earth's dimensions first." And I explained to you that they didn't, that they were specifically trying to determine the Earth's dimensions. And you go, "Oh, well, they must have known the Earth's dimensions first." And I go through it again, and you say the same thing again.
I'm asking you again, because now we realize that you have to have your value, right? So how did they come up with it before surveying? How do you guys get your guys' value, please?
Well, why do you want to know it before surveying? Why is that important? They determined
because
it.
You guys had a value before surveying to use your whole answers to it, right?
I mean, Aristophanes and other people.
All right, so we are going to go back. We are going to go back to Al-Biruni, and we're just going to pretend the surveying didn't happen, and that, or it did happen, but they all just went with what Al-Biruni said.
Jim, it's like you're
the guys who spent 10 years climbing mountains in Ecuador. There was no point in them doing that because they were just going with the values that they already had from Al-Biruni 1,000 years before anyway. That's your claim. It's absurd.
Jim, it's like you're a fucking mind reader. You said exactly that this is the path she would go down.
Again, from geodetic surveying. How many times do I have to say this?
The surveying already had a value previously. Where did you get that? Next.
Please,
from geodetic surveying, where there was not a value previously. A value previously is not required.
There is.
That's because now, this is talking about surveys now that work with WGS 84, a predetermined geoid that we all work with for this, but that has come about.
All of them have been based on a value, correct?
But current surveys are, yes. But that is because they are based on a geoid, an agreed upon geoid. That geoid ultimately was derived from surveying. That's how we got
Who all agreed on that geoid? And the surveying came from a value before. So who all agreed on this value and did this?
Stacey, you are missing several steps, and you've got them all out of order.
She's just asking the question to keep the conversation going. She's not actually interested in the answer.
Just anyway, I can.
It's based on pre-values, and please explain to me how you got your first value. And they go on.
Again, for the 8th time. Listen. Stacey, right. The question is, how did we get the value? Okay? That's the question you've asked 8 times, and I've answered 8 times. This is the 9th time I'm going to answer it, okay? Geodetic surveying. That's how we got the value.
But I've asked
by measuring the Earth.
Does that not already go on pre-values already?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm giving you an example of how it couldn't. No, it doesn't. No.
Are you breaking down, Jim?
Yes, because it's infuriating just saying the same thing over and over.
Stacey, here's what you seem to be missing here.
You've just totally ignored everything I've said and just gone back to preaching 24/7 bullshit. If you want to believe...
Why do you always bring it back to 24/7? Because what? Are those people more intellectual than you guys? Is that the problem here?
No, it's because you're just playing the 24/7 game in here. And it's silly. It's silly, and it has nothing to do.
Why is it a game to you?
It has nothing to do.
Is it a problem for you?
It has nothing to do with knowing what's true. It's all to do with pretending that the Earth's flat.
I'm saying you're pretending that the Earth is a globe.
That's supported by mountains of evidence. You haven't got any evidence. Nothing compelling at all.
I've been repeatedly asking for your evidence. Provided me
Again, Stacey. So how much time have you spent, after I've talked to you about the French-Spanish geodesic mission, after I've talked to you about it at least 4 times in detail, how much time have you spent looking at that?
When I look up every single time and I see that you have,
I will answer you. Jem, I haven't spent a moment on it, Jem. Say that. I haven't spent a moment on it because it might challenge my belief.
You don't want to hear it, and that's your problem.
I need to keep pretending that quantum eraser's right, and that the only reason we know the Earth.
Sir Nathan Oakley, Jim's breaking down. Oh no, there's no radius, Jim. Calm down. It's okay.
Stacey, why do you have a difficulty grasping information and translating it into knowledge? Why do you have that? Why do you have difficulty with that?
I was not the one breaking down, and you're telling me that I have a problem.
Because it's so infuriating when you get
quantum eraser. You bring
because it's so infuriating, Stacey. When I get
all you guys do because you get so infuriated.
Well, Stacey, if you would stop stealing his arguments and stop playing the word games that he does, we wouldn't accuse you of being a clone of his.
When I get to the end of what I said, and you said, "Oh, right, so you're saying we all just made it up, just make up any old shit that I haven't said," and that's really dishonest and really frustrating. You can't make progress.
Quantum eraser, why do you gotta always put other
people? Tell me what your story is then, Stacey. You tell me what your story is. Where do you're saying that these people, the only way, whenever they go out to make measurements, they don't really make any measurements because they've already got them. And they just go with the ones that they've got. So for a start, you've got thousands of people around the world over the last 300 years that have claimed to be doing geodetic surveys that actually weren't. Do you have any explanation for that?
Do you not understand that I've already said they're doing the surveying and you just want to just divert?
But what are they?
Every single one was already presupposed on dimensions of the
value. It doesn't say that. Stacey, can you learn how to read what that said?
If that's true, what are they surveying? If they already got the measurements and they're just going with the ones that they've already got, what are they measuring and why?
That's what I'm asking.
The mistake is thinking.
Right. So that means that those people who claim to have done that, all the textbooks that you can see online that claim that that's possible to do that, to make these measurements, all of that is wrong, according to you, because we're all just going with Al-Biruni, who did it 1,000 years ago. And nobody anywhere has got any desire to do this again in any way. They all just, oh no, Al-Biruni did it 1,000 years ago. We're going with that. Do you honestly think that this is likely to be true?
Yeah, I think this whole sphere shit is likely to be true. That you basically.
No, I didn't ask you about this whole sphere shit. I didn't ask you about the whole sphere shit. I asked you specifically.
Well, Al-Biruni's full of it too. They're all full of it. Einstein's full of it.
Right.
Everybody's full of it.
Okay. But what you're saying is now that all these geodetic surveyors that you can go to college and learn to do this. There are textbooks online. You can just Google. All of that is all fake because everybody's already got the measurements, and the measurements they've got are from Al-Biruni 1,000 years ago, and no other human in history since Al-Biruni. Listen. Why are you talking? No other human since Al-Biruni has had the desire to actually know the answer to this question. They'll just go, oh, well, fuck it. Al-Biruni did it. We'll go with his. Do you think that's likely to be true?
No.
No, I think people want to know, but I think that they're doing
right. So why has nobody else done it then? Why do you think that nobody else has done it?
You're not understanding. People are doing stuff just like at NASA and making certain parts for rockets and everything else. They're not.
We're not talking about rockets. We're talking about measuring. Try and stay on the subject. We're talking
on a ball. Space-time does not hold water down. We're made up mainly of water.
Stacey, talk about the subject that we're talking about. We're talking about geodetic survey.
It's a big-ass ball, supposedly, that you have a radius on that you cannot ever get from besides stupid Al-Biruni and bullshit that's absolutely insane. And you guys even admit it. Oh, that's stupid.
Nobody's admitted that. No, they didn't. You're lying again.
After that, please explain why.
Explain. I couldn't. That was just gibberish, and I want you to answer my question. You're saying that what? I'm not going to go through it all again. You're saying that situation exists. That all of these people don't really go out and measure stuff. They just say that they do. And they're all going with a one.
I've already answered you, Jim.
But
They do this stuff. However, how they're doing it is incorrect.
All right.
Why do you not understand that?
Right, hold on.
Because a lot of things can happen when you put it into a machine or you put it through math and you make it work for you.
Right.
But when we're talking about reality, that's not provable in the things you're talking about.
Hang on.
And that's the issue.
So what is it that they do then? They go out. Why are they even bothering to go out and make a measurement if they've already got them to start with and they're just going to go with the ones they've got?
Why are they automatically doing this and computing it that way? That's my question too. Correct. Why are you automatically assuming there's going to be a sphere?
So, what a non-answer to your question.
Right. That geodetic surveyors exist. Do you admit that they exist at least? That people claim to be geodetic surveyors? That there are.
I don't believe that anything when it comes to the satellite bullshit you talk to me about, but the other stuff you
What satellite bullshit are you talking about?
It doesn't work the way they say it does.
You're asking her if the sky is blue, and she's answering Rubik Cube Tuesday.
Right. It is just ridiculous.
We're not talking about the sky.
Is that cognitive dissonance, Brian?
Yeah, you're right. You finally got something right, Stacy. We are not talking about the sky. Good job.
We were talking about geodetic surveying. And I'm asking you.
I know, but we're talking about how did you get your values for the. Come on. You're computing in the computer stuff. And tell me how you got your values from the beginning. Why are you starting with values?
Right. I say that they went out and they measured those values. You say that one man 1,000 years ago did it, and nobody else since wanted to do it. Nobody's ever had the desire to it. Everybody just went, oh, we'll just go with what that bloke said 1,000 years ago. That's your claim.
Can you show me proof that the entire Earth is mapped out for me? Show me.
It's like a broken record. She goes from, can you show me proof? And then she goes to, you're all presupposing shit.
Why would you not want proof for the reality that you live in?
I do have proof, Stacey. What I wanted to do, Stacey, what I was hoping was that we would have a conversation. That is, I would say something, and then you would respond to the thing that I had said. And then I would then respond to the thing that you had said about the thing that I had said. But what's happening here is I'm saying something, and then you're saying something else.
Talking past each other.
I'm trying to make steps here. I'm trying to make a point, and you're just blabbing.
She's defending a belief that she's just not going to give up for any reason.
Right.
I'm not defending a belief. You guys are defending a belief, and that is the whole point.
And when you jump to topics, Stacey, it means you're reeling from the beating you're taking in your argument. You jump topics to satellites, to this, and
you about geodetic surveying, and you started talking about satellites in response to it.
Did you not say that you don't need a radius? Did you not say that?
Yes, and I went through that with you, didn't I? I don't need. You said actually what happened was you said I need a radius. And I said, I don't. And I explained to you why. Can you remember what I said? What the reasoning was that I gave you?
Tell everybody why you said you don't need a radius. Because
I'm going to. I want to.
Keep saying you don't need a radius, Jim.
I'm going to.
That's your name.
Please stop talking. I'm going to tell everyone, but I want to know if you can remember just one of the reasons I gave for that. Just one.
No, because you know what? They were quite. I'm not going to call you. It wasn't. You weren't stupid, but the answers were quite stupid for me because anytime you tell me you don't need a radius when you're on a damn ball is funny to me. So please explain because I don't remember. It hurt my brain.
Okay. All right. I'll try again. 2 celestial poles. The declination of Polaris. The setting sun. The fact that the sun doesn't change angular size during a day. The fact that the moon doesn't change angular size during a day. Pictures from space. None of those things require that I know the radius of the Earth. None of them. Do you understand that?
Okay, and all that proves that you were on a spinning freaking water ball?
No, that shows that we're on a rotating globe.
Oh,
How can there be celestial? How can there be Sorry.
I'm not doing this celestial body thing and perspective and how the stars move and all that stuff from hemispheres because we've been through it before over the other 24/7 that you bring up all the time on me. So remember those conversations too, Jim.
You haven't been through those conversations once.
And Jim knows we have been over there having this conversation, so don't speak on something that you don't know about.
You asked me for my reasons. My reasons are not affected by your moronic arguments against them. Just because you say, oh, we can't tell anything from looking in the sky, which of course is bullshit. But your problem is, Stacey, your problem is you are absolutely embedded in Quantum Eraser's argument that we cannot possibly know. Listen, that we cannot possibly know the radius of the Earth because of this thing about geometric horizons, and because of that, we cannot possibly determine what shape it is. It's absurd, ridiculous.
You're saying is
none of it's true.
Shit and he's lying. I'm
yes,
full of shit and I'm lying.
he's lying.
24/7's full of shit and they're lying. Everybody over there, we're all just dumb as shit. Is that what you're saying, Jim?
Pretty much.
Uneducated and none of you are qualified. That's true, right? That's reality. Including science, including the science.
Are you qualified? Because I don't.
No, and I certainly don't try to deny the laws of thermodynamics either, Stacey.
Children, are people qualified in here, please?
Yes,
Stacey, I actually have a question about looking at the sky versus looking at the ground. If I were to put you into a room, would you be able to tell me the shape of the room by only looking at the floor?
Duh, the floor is flat. Therefore, the room is flat.
No. What was that, Stacey? I couldn't hear.
It's a description.
I didn't get to hear Stacey's answer. What was that, Stacey?
Sorry, Brad.
The shape. I'm in a house. It's whatever the box is. The house. The reality is not the shape of the.
I'm asking you, if I were to put you into a room, would you be able to determine the shape of it by only looking at the floor?
Ask stupid questions like that.
I'm just asking a yes or no question. Can you give me a yes or no answer?
Over dumb questions.
Can you just give me a yes or no answer? It will save a lot of time if you'll answer yes or no.
Let's just concede. Yes.
My.
Wait, Lemon, your answer was yes? You can tell the shape of a room by only looking at the floor?
I'm sorry, no. I was just agreeing so this conversation could move forward. No.
Okay, cool.
What? Lemon's making sense?
Only for a brief moment, and then he realized he shouldn't have been making sense and changed his mind so that he stopped making sense.
The heart of all this is just a belief system, a belief that can't be false, and therefore they just, particularly Lemon, but others, just make up anything in order to maintain the belief.
Right.
It's the belief comes first, and truth comes second. You don't care about truth
I'm in
at
a house, right?
It's
and
a
it's
consistent
a shape
belief
that's been built upon me, right? It's a square. That is a shape. Therefore, I can actually touch it. I can get a ladder, touch my ceiling, touch my walls. I can verify that shit. You can't verify your model you talk about. Please quit trying to
She's Debbie Duran.
You missed the point entirely.
She's Debbie Duran right now.
It is a bit like that.
So your point is that we have to look to the sky to verify the shape on the ground. What if something is happening?
No, Lemon, that wasn't my point at all. Don't straw man me. I asked a simple question because only looking at the floor, only looking at the floor. You cannot possibly tell me to 100. You cannot possibly tell me to 100 to even a good confidence level that the room is one shape.
But the only thing that you need to figure out the shape of what you're on is to test the shape of what you're on with lasers and see if they're hitting a hump of house curvature or earth curvature to see if it conforms more with a flat surface.
Wait, no, Lemon. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I've changed the shape of the floor. I'm asking the shape of the room.
There's no hump in the Earth model.
Indirectly, Lemon. You don't go to the sky. That's indirect. That's a poor metric because it's
part of
Lemon. You're missing the point.
What you're trying to measure. Your point is not well made. You test
it was well made to everyone with a brain.
Your point is not well made because you're looking at something indirect like the sky, which has
Very
little to do
well made.
with what's happening
Looking
on the
at one
ground.
aspect of a three-dimensional object is not going to tell you the shape of it.
But something totally different can be happening in the sky. This is the danger.
How do you know
fall
it's not a
into.
pyramid if you don't look at the sky? How do you know it's not geodetic? What is that? Hexahedron.
Dodecahedron.
The thing from Dungeons and Dragons, whatever that's called.
Dodecahedron.
Wait, see, here's the point.
Or an
You guys do this
isohedron.
all the time and divert. Who's making claims of any fucking shape? Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Who's making a claim of the shape? We're not. You guys did. We said
Yeah,
flat.
the people who measured the
measure
shape
and
are
see.
making a claim about the shape.
Flat Earth is
Good
making a claim. Flat Earth is making a claim about the shape. They claim it's flat. That's a shape.
No. We're claiming that your stupid sphere of a claim that we're on a model of a ball is not
the Earth
correct.
flat?
That is not claiming anything that we are. We're measuring flat as far as we can see. We have
Okay, what are you replacing the globe model with,
We're
Stacey?
saying the model doesn't exist.
Right, and what are you going to replace it with? Because you can't remove the light from the room and live in darkness. You have to replace the bulb. So what are you replacing it with?
Flat on
And
top
that's what we're
could be
trying
an
to do is talk
iceberg.
about what's reality.
No. What I'm telling you is that you're trying to take the entire globe model from sky to floor to inside the earth, and you're trying to replace it with the word flat at this point. Now, you have enough data to go off to map just the sunrises in every location throughout one whole day. Why won't you do that? You see, the thing about a sunrise, is that it reaches a meridian point. Now, everywhere on the Earth is different where we have to face, and everybody's north is the same. So you go and do that and tell me why you can't map the sun on a circuit like you claim when it has to match the southern rotation and the southern location and the north simultaneously throughout one day, because there's no separate day.
We're not supposed to go to the sky to talking about the ground to all of a sudden going back to the sky.
Because you're on the ground, and that's your reference point from what direction you have to face the sun.
But if
So it's a combination now. It's a
It
combination now.
continues to go flat. Is curve flat? Is curve level?
So this
It's
is
a
a model you're saying to
combination of
explain
using the
celestial
floor.
phenomena.
No, it's the
Not to explain the shape.
it's the
but to explain celestial
location.
phenomena. That's
It's the
different.
location and the direction I face is a real world observation.
With perspective,
You're
that can be
observing
complicated,
something.
flat or round.
It doesn't even
You're
matter.
observing something in the sky that you don't even know how far it is. It's an
From
location.
here's the key. Here's the key. From a direction, from a point on the ground. That's
What
the
point is that,
connection
sir?
here.
What point is that?
The observer's location,
Which would be where in your case?
which would be Christchurch, New Zealand for me.
No, what type of surface? You said meridian, right?
The meridian, yeah, the highest point the sun reaches in that location, yeah.
Okay, as it circuits above you or orbits you?
See, that's the thing. It's all about locating where the meridian point is for each location, and the
I agree.
model
I agree. It's
should
unknown,
match.
that's why we can't use it.
It's not unknown. It's individually going to be different. The difference is clear from the location you're in. And that's what I'm saying. If you can't go and take that data from every location, or just compare it to your location and mine,
I get
then
what you're saying. I agree
then
with you, right? On the sphere, you'd have a
you're
meridian,
running
it
away
would
from a
work out that
simple
way.
observation with data that can be tested. The moment you say the sun wasn't there, that's when we have a problem.
Just let me know. No, where we have a problem is you assume that it is in its right place above you on a sphere, and you measure back towards it in apparent position, a light in the sky. That's the problem. Instead of measuring the floor,
An
and whoever
apparent
said you
position,
can't
unless
measure the
my
floor when you're put in a
floor
room,
moving,
why would
unless
you
the
want to try to
ground's
measure the
moving.
Hold on, time out. What do you think geodetic surveying is? It's
Around.
literally measuring the floor.
Yeah.
Take a look at the
the
link I
air-
provided.
They don't worry. They don't worry about.
If you can use a GPS and find me, then it works in both hemispheres.
They point towards the apparent wall of a Earth, the horizon, and try and measure the floor. That's the problem, because it's an apparent position. So your math is wrong.
No. See, that's where you go again and try that. No, see, you change what I say. You change what I'm saying. I said.
Formula of refraction.
No. See, you're moving away from it, RAQIA, and I'm not going to let you do it. I said the position of the observer.
Right.
So that position doesn't change due to refraction.
The angle of light.
And the sun isn't controlled by any mechanism on Earth, so it's always going to reach the highest point in the sky, and there's always going to be a direction on a compass which that sun faces, which we have to face to see that sun. And that is what I'm asking you to do. Don't bring refraction into it. Don't try to move it around. I said a position and location of the observer and the angle to it and the direction they have to face. That's what I said, and that doesn't matter because they're refraction or not, we know that the sun is going to reach. No, I'm just going to cut you off because I know what you're trying to do. Every single day, unless you can prove otherwise, the sun reaches the highest point it's going to be seen in that location for the day. Every single day.
Yep, by each individual viewer. Yep.
That's right.
You're right.
But the direction they face doesn't change. But for you, it has to comport to a reality of a flat Earth. But for us, the only shape that comports to the observation and those directions is a globe. And that's why you won't map it. That's why no flat Earther will map it. That's why all you've got is the freaking circuitly moving sun and moon that just go around that don't comport to any type of reality when it gets to a 15-hour day of sunlight here in New Zealand.
You don't have a.
Oh, really? Really? So map it and show me. Map it and show me. Until then, you have no model.
Nobody can.
Oh, nobody can, except I can tell you.
You have a model that you've made up, and we don't live on that.
Oh, really? So you can take that data and compare it and try to map it to a flat Earth, but you won't.
All the data is wrong.
Can we RAQIA completely missed the point of the fact that the model actually fucking works that we gave, and that he can't provide any alternative that does.
Exactly. And if it, and like I said, if the sun's not there, if the sun's not in the direction. If you face the sky and the sun's not there in the direction using an analog compass, so there's no app or there's no distortion with A was using a phone or the rest of it, an analog compass using a magnetic north, for some reason my compass won't work in the northern hemisphere locations. Let's not get into that. But, if that's not, analog testing and that doesn't work, the sun's not there, then we've got a problem. Problem for you is the sun is exactly where we predict it to be from here until infinity.
Predictions.
Yeah, Sheeple, can we go back and just absolutely marvel in the fact that he brought up my favorite flat Earth gem, which is we don't live on a model. Well, no shit, idiot.
It has to be at least 2 times bigger than this.
Nice idiot. The sun was going to be on a flat Earth all the time too. Is that what you're literally trying to say right now?
Nah, I don't think you're able to get it, Stacey. RAQIA tried to glance past it because he knew where it was leading, and that's why he told me to stick the data, which is testable and verifiable and challenged never by flat earthers, up my ass. Like a good Christian should.
Yeah, reverse engineer. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you like it is.
Yeah.
When you're trying to deceive people. Yeah, you daggum right.
Yeah. Gentle as dove, wise as a serpent.
Shove them up your keister.
Yeah. If he said keister, it would have been better, but he said ass. So it's like,
what's wrong with that?
Gentle as doves, wise as serpents.
Why do you guys get so
I will attack deception. I promise you that.
Okay. Well, you're deceiving yourself by trying to say that you've already done it, or that if you did it, it wouldn't matter. If you did it, you would see.
So how would you know?
If you did it, you would see.
Why are you trying
the
to
thing is, you can have this on. You can have this on a flat plane with perspective.
I'll give you the sun location right now in New Zealand and the direction, and you can map it to data.
I know where the sun is exactly.
Yeah, they stole that from geocentrism.
Yep.
RAQIA spends lots of time staring right at the sun.
Observations due to geocentrism.
Yes, but we all know that geocentrism failed to explain other things which are now mapped by the globe model. Heliocentrism.
Not really.
Yes, really. The Tycho Brahe was simply superseded because it couldn't explain the orbits of the planets.
Just to add again to the same fucking thing that was said to flat earthers over and over, geocentrism is just the explanation that the sun is going around the earth, not the earth going around the sun. It says nothing about the shape of the earth. In geocentrism, the shape of the earth is a globe.
But its central tenet that the earth is motionless and at rest appears to be very good, because that gives you a center of observation that is not changing. Heliocentrism has everything in motion and everything in flux.
Lemon, did you hear what I say?
Much more tenuous.
Lemon, did you hear what I say? In geocentrism, the earth is a globe. It's not flat.
But at the very least, the earth is motionless and at rest.
The earth is just in the center. The sun and moon rotate above it.
Yes, it's in the center and it is a globe. That's what geocentrism says. Yeah,
but if
that's
the
it.
moon is circling above, it would have to be a flat surface.
How stupid do you have to be to not know what geocentrism is? How stupid, how incredibly stupid
makes a lot of
do you
sense.
have to be to not understand?
She loves it.
Makes a lot of sense.
Like that.
Say it one more time, Brenda.
As stupid as Lemon.
Makes a lot of sense.
You can just Google geocentrism and see whether it's flat or a globe in geocentrism. You could just Google that.
And have a look what happens to the planets. Have a look at what happens to the orbits of the planets in the geocentrism if you try to include that location.
Where are those planets?
It's really not good for you. It's really not good for you. But here's the thing. I was only talking about the sun. Just the sun you can't map. We haven't even included the difficulty of the moon.
But sheeple, why is that difficult? It's just overhead. I don't. Why can't they do it?
Yeah, exactly right. Like fuck.
Lemon has the moon figured out. It's a flat disk that tilts sometimes, and that's how we get the phases.
Oh.
Tilts. So why doesn't somebody see an ellipse in the sky at some point?
Who knows? Because your eyes are round. I don't know.
Okay, I need glasses, I admit that, but I think I'd notice an ellipse in the sky.
You think someone with all the locations and different, because there's someone along the path. I mean, in the current model we see, when I see the moon, India should be looking at the back of it. Weird like that.
I'm still waiting for Lemon to explain to me how an eclipse works on the flat Earth model. I mean, if you put a sun and the moon as stickers on your ceiling,
refraction.
How does one block the other, except without them overlapping, because that's a singularity solution?
Refraction.
I don't understand how that works.
Refraction.
Refraction, really, RAQIA? Are you really going to tell me that?
When the eclipse doesn't work on the sphere model,
the moon is being refracted in front of the sun. This is what you're telling me,
and it casts a shadow. It's the refracted
your model. Just say
model.
Refraction.
Alright, you guys just claim refraction and everything.
No, he claimed refraction. We didn't bring refraction. Okay.
Yeah, I laugh because that's what
okay. Stacy, do you have an answer for the lunar eclipse?
Didn't we just do this last time? No, it was a couple of nights ago, wasn't it? We're talking about Selling and all that, and then you guys realized you guys didn't have an answer for your shit either.
No, we've got answer for every single eclipse.
I refuse to keep going.
Stacy, you have a weird way of remembering this.
Rocket dish galloping. Is that even possible?
Maybe they should ask Nathan and
did we not have this conversation? And Brenda, you're always in here. You should remember that, right? Remember that goldfish memory that I have?
Maybe you should ask you, Brenda.
Maybe you should ask Quantum Eraser and Nathan for explanations about how the flat Earth works.
Then she can come back and refer it. Times you guys name drop because today.
You know, Stacy, do you not remember Rocket? Do you not remember Rocket going through the Selenilian eclipse and however the hell you say that eclipse with you the other day?
Hello, Selenilian. It's okay, but I just told you the same thing, and you guys denied it. Oh, it didn't happen.
No, we haven't even gotten a chance to respond to it. You said we had nothing to say about it. Rocket described to you how the modeling on it works. Do you not remember that?
No.
She has the mind of a goldfish.
The entire conversation went back to it's a phenomenon you cannot explain. That was what
it was explained to you.
I remember the conversation. And
You
then
might remember it being explained to her, I guess.
Is she Doria
Stacey,
from
do you
that
have
goldfish movie?
do you have any original thought, an original position, an original argument?
No, quantum erased Sir Nathan Oakley and 24/7 is my brain. I'm sorry, that's what you said.
Well, we know that.
Somebody quote that. Somebody quote that.
Can y'all do anything but attack somebody?
Oh, please.
Why do y'all say her name and then tell her how dumb she is and tell me how dumb I am?
Well, essentially,
I have a sickness.
Because it's self-evident.
Essentially, that's what religious dogmatism and orthodoxy does. It just gives you pat answers, so you don't have to think anymore.
Yeah, just kind of like what y'all.
Yeah, she can just parrot all day long.
Yeah,
and try and get away with it.
Yeah, no problem. Son does this because of this, because of this, because of this, because I read it in the book, religion. That's what y'all do.
Rocky, do you want to take a stab? I get it. I get it. The eclipse article about the sun and helium starts with the impossible eclipse. And that's why, because they don't read past the title, that's why they say it's impossible. I've got
it's
it.
It's impossible on your model, and we don't live on a model.
Yeah, and then when you read the article, it says the seemingly impossible. So now it's gone from impossible to seemingly impossible, but you clicked on it using the clickbait title. See how this works?
Oh, they didn't click on it. They just read the title.
Well, that's true. That's true. But yeah.
Or they heard it
and
on a Flat Earth show.
Yeah, and as soon as the cell and helium is explained, they jump to the next one. We can't have gas pressure without a container because it breaks the second law. What's the second law?
Gas pressure next to container because that's the second law. Duh.
The moon's a hologram. What's a hologram? They hologram stuff. Oh, right. Yep. Gotcha.
How could we ever
on the hologram?
Whenever y'all are done with the personal stuff.
Well, dude. It's kind of like Eminem in 8 Mile, where he said all the things that you're about to say, so you've got no argument left.
I got my feet propped up looking at the sun.
Oh, can you tell me which direction it is?
See it right.
Are you looking directly at the sun? I wouldn't recommend that.
It's about.
You may not know, but it's actually bad for you.
That's how you recharge your batteries, is by looking at the sun.
Oh, yes. Look directly at it.
Recharges you with spiritual energy.
Okay, well, let's find out. Which way is the sun facing for you?
West.
It's facing up. You gotta look up.
It's about. Let's say 50 degrees, and it's towards the west. It's going towards the northwest. Gonna set almost due north of me.
I just want to know how Sheeple manages to hang on with his toes since he's hanging upside down compared to us all the time.
Do not let that go. It's gonna set almost due north. Is that today by any chance?
Yeah, towards the northwest.
Almost due north today. Interesting.
Yeah,
Kurt, I have great news for you.
How far that is from the truth?
It's about 60 degrees off of where it sets in the wintertime.
So it's a 330 degrees northwest, and it's high in the sky, and it's setting for you. That's weird.
It's not setting for me. I said it's going to set in about 4 hours. About 3.5 hours.
Oh, the sun's certainly not going to set in 4 hours. It's way up in the sky for me. I'll take a photo for you. Hold on a second. Explain this one. Explain this one. I'll take a photo holding my compass in my hand too.
Because I don't think you guys even
How does
understand the
this
sky at all.
accomplished ocean navigator not know where the fuck due north is?
Yeah, it's what? It's 4:30 right now.
Self-proclaimed ocean navigator.
Yeah.
Can you please take a photo of the sun? I don't believe you.
Okay. Hang on.
No, I'm just kidding. Can you just do that so we can compare? I've got trees so you can use them as reference. It'll be fantastic.
I don't know how good this is going to come out. But...
This will be the longest you've ever spent on an experiment.
Right.
Yeah, and Sheeple, just so you know, sunset for New Orleans is approximately 2 hours 50 minutes away.
No, he said 4 or 5 hours, man. I don't know.
No, I I said 2.5 when I looked at the time.
You
said 4 hours.
This clock is way more accurate than yours, Brian. Okay.
Go back and listen.
Yours is based on ball sphere technology.
Setting about
Yours
8
is straight
o'clock.
and flat.
Setting about 8 o'clock here lately.
Globe clock.
The sunset is 7:15, dude.
It's been setting here about 8 o'clock.
Dude, does he get anything right? That's like 5 things in a row. He just was totally wrong.
Does he even know where he lives? Has he been lying to us this
He lives
entire
on a
time?
boat. Look at that.
No, I'm on a boat. I don't live on a boat. I'm just
See, he got that wrong too.
3 hours.
Okay, so that might have been bullying.
No, I'm just
Anybody?
saying how you guys have been bullied in your life. And
Somebody tell it's 7:15 p.m. Is that due north?
The globe that actually doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Defend.
When you look at the globe
You triggered so easily
model,
you go
you
off
look
and
at
call
the
people
north as the
things
sun.
and shit because it's very personal.
Besides verbal, who's talking?
That's Stacy
That's
just
Stacey.
running her mouth in the background.
The new Debbie
Fucking
Duran.
personal. This is your freaking
Debbie
choosing
Jr.
moments every time.
Why is she doing this?
Because she
Debbie.
wants to be heard.
Why
She
do you
needs
have to
attention.
always get
I can
personal?
barely
Why do you
hear
have to
her.
bully people? Have
I
you
know
been
she
bullied
has
in your
nothing to
life or
say,
something?
nothing worth hearing, but why does she think she needs to be heard? And why is she all over everybody?
Why do you think you need to be
Or am I
heard?
wrong?
Yeah,
I
you're
can't
wrong.
tell.
She is very quiet though.
What company was it that Debbie called to complain about their Globe Earth
American
flyer?
Express?
Amex.
Yeah. Stacy, you should call American Express.
Complain about their globe commercial.
Yeah,
You should
that
know
would
how to be
be
a
like full circle.
compassionate person since you're a teacher.
I'm sorry, mister, but it's not a globe. How dare you make a commercial saying it's a globe?
Sir.
Let's see.
I want to talk to
Are y'all
your
still hearing me?
manager in accounting.
So I think my son was due west, which it actually is right now exactly. I got my compass on my phone now. So let me try and find the compass again because I don't have one on my phone actually. Like open. So it's right at 270 degrees now, and it
I don't remember having to look due south to see the sun at noon.
sets
Weird.
about 3:30. So what I say,
America.
60 degrees? I think I said 60 degrees. Yeah, I did say 60 degrees. Huh? Yeah, that's about right. From its position right now, it's going to set about 60 degrees further to the north. So I
What
said,
the hell is
I
he
think
talking
I
about?
said,
60 degrees further to the north.
well, as it is right now in the sky, and where I'm approximating it sets due to where the camps are, it's going to set approximately 60 degrees further north than the position it is right now. So is anything
Can
I
anyone
said wrong?
translate what he just said into real words?
I'm not
What he
listening
says
to you.
makes
I'd be
sense.
willing to bet most of what you said was wrong, having not even heard
Well,
it. Just
60
knowing
degrees further north. What does that
propensity
even mean?
fucking wrong. I would bet that yes,
Well-
you were wrong.
Well, the graphic that I put in the chat illustrates how this is possible. This graphic illustrates how the sun can circle east to west over the southern tropics, yet appear to be north of due east, according to a compass's reading. As you can see in the drawing, there's this person in the North America getting a compass reading, which would be a cross going north, south, east, and west according to the compass reading. But the sun would be circling overhead east to west. East to west would be read as a straight line on a compass, while the sun would move east to west in a circle overhead that would move in front of and behind the line that you would arbitrarily draw due to a compass reading.
So
And
where
so
is 60
basically you
degrees
can have-
further north?
I got a more accurate
Yeah.
reading. It's about 270 right now, and it sets about 300.
Are you looking at a compass? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where I'm sitting right now, I'm looking
And
at the sun.
how
and
are you
it's-
orienting your compass?
I just have it straight towards the sun.
So basically, based off of a compass reading, you're going to draw an arbitrary north, south, east, west plus sign
Is that
quadrant
lemon?
with straight
It is
lines.
lemon.
But east to west would be more accurately the trail of the sun circling overhead over the flat plane.
So he needs to look northwest in order to see the sunset, is what you're saying.
Me, yeah.
As it circles back around.
Not right now. Barely
Because
north and
I'm-
west. he's probably about 280 degrees or so. We're sunset right now. About roughly 280. That's only 10 degrees. Excuse me. That's 10 degrees north of due west, approximately.
I said it's that 60 degrees in the winter different. In the winter,
you say all kinds of stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in your babbling at the moment. Others are talking about how wrong you are right now, RAQIA. You can't get anything right. Please, let the adults talk for a moment.
I can't. I'm mature. I'm just gonna mute Curved. What were you saying, dude?
Oh my god, I'm just gonna mute Curved.
My God, Curved muted.
You flatwits are fucking the head.
Curved muted.
In the
I'm
winter
just gonna
time,
mute Lemon.
my sun sets southwest more, and in the summertime it sets about 60 degrees more towards the north.
60 degrees more towards the north than what?
Yeah. What
do
these arbitrary numbers mean?
Get out of your fucking mind.
And we weren't talking about winter.
No, I was earlier.
Yeah, okay. Nobody else was.
Because
You're
as
just
it
talking to
goes out to
yourself.
the outside circuit, it's further away from you, so it's further.
Outside circuit?
Yeah.
Rocky, can you please draw
can you
in
prove
crayon what you're talking about? Because no one understands what you're saying.
So the sun moves faster on this outside circuit?
I can show you pictures of where it's
Or slower?
Give you a reference.
No,
Outside
you're
circuit.
60 degrees further north. Draw a picture of that. 'Cause I have no idea what you're talking
Outside
about.
circuit's
I don't
pretty
think you
strong
do
thing.
either.
And your sun's going down while mine's going up. How does that work?
Well, you see, his sun is getting further away from him, and your sun's getting closer to you somehow. But yet they don't change angular size at all during the day. I'm just gonna chalk it up to magic.
But it's going up. It's not getting close. It's going up.
It's going upwards and not changing in angular size. So as it gets closer to you, it doesn't change size. It doesn't need to. It's magic. And then when it gets further away from him, it doesn't need to change size because it's
Who are you
also.
asking, him or me? Because he seems to be monologuing.
Why are 4 people talking at once?
Because that
I don't
guy's
know.
cutting in.
I was
on a
talking
conversation.
RAQIA
fun that way.
Run his mouth, so I'm trying to explain the flat Earth sun, and if you would,
Yeah, because he's not a flat earther.
Rocket, do you want to have a 1v1 real quick?
No.
Yes, Rocket.
Cosmo? Yeah, sure.
Alright, Rocket. I believe the Earth is a round ball.
Congratulations.
Well, that was quick.
You didn't debate me? Are you conceding that I'm correct?
Do you think he's
Sure.
a flat earther?
Of course. Rockets only work on a flat Earth projection.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Rockets only work on
It's
flat Earth
really not a
projection.
funny joke, man.
How about you? Is the sun in your location at the moment? Whoever just made that flat Earth projection?
Can you tell me what the color of the sun is?
White.
My sun's not white.
Well, that's a little
racist.
racially oversensitive. Why's the sun got to be white, yo? Why can't it be yellow?
It's very bright. That's what I know.
The gas
I can't actually tell.
tend to be yellow and orange. The sun appears to be white, I think is what we're told. It looks white in that photo.
Look at it. Look at it really close and really hard for really long, and you'll find out.
Now, RAQIA, if you look at the drawing that I put in chat, you will basically see. You will basically see the compass headings that you would look toward.
Hold on, Lemon was talking.
Wait your turn.
Really quickly, you would look infinitely in these north-south.
We will let you know when to speak, dog.
You would be looking infinitely in these directions. And basically, the sun would set along the western line that you draw due to a compass, but it would set due to perspective. So it has the potential to move a couple degrees up and down relative to that line due to perspective as it circles.
Lemon, nobody looked at your thing, dude. I'm sorry to break it to you.
I'll put it up there again.
But like nobody's paying attention to your thing.
Lemon is breaking new ground by saying the same thing over
very
again.
short attention span. But anyway, I disturbed another dude who was interrupting me for some reason. What were you saying, other dude?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, dog.
It's Joe. You faggot.
Yeah, Joe.
Thanks. RAQIA, you posted 3 photos. One was from the inside of your boat, I assume, and then the second one, the sun underneath the bridge.
Yeah, the one inside I'm sitting right now. No, the one from the inside of my boat, I just took it right now. The sun is high in my sky. The one under the bridge is during the wintertime, and the one that's not under the bridge is during the summertime. It's approximately 50 to 60 degrees difference.
How do you know it's degrees different? What are you using?
I'll just take my compass and look. I mean, I'm just, approximating where it sets in the winter.
I don't know. You got to tell me.
I just told you it sets under a bridge in a certain spot in the wintertime, and then
you rambled, and then you said
you're not listening.
And then you said,
why are people so stupid?
I can take my compass and
wait. Was Lemonbird the one who just said that?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did.
Ironic.
The irony.
How else would you get these degrees but by a compass?
Yeah.
Hey, question.
I mean, I don't understand how else you would get these degrees other than by a compass. That's just stupid.
How does the sun get under that bridge?
I don't trust your numbers, right?
I'm still trying to figure out where he's getting 60 degrees out of. I'm still trying to figure out where he's getting 60 degrees variance when it's 23 plus 23.
Yeah, he's kind of stupid.
Well, 23 plus
I
23.
want to know how he gets those degrees. I want to know how he.
It's an approximation using a compass.
Whoever's trying to add 23 and 23 to get how much the sunset or sunrise varies. That's not how you get it. Don't do that.
So it's only 46 or 50 degrees difference in the summer and the winter?
It depends on where on the earth you are.
I'm fine with that. Well, it's about 50 or 60 degrees.
It varies.
Yeah. So where I'm at, it's about 50.
Less variation from the equator than there is. The farther you move away from the equator, the greater the swing is.
I know. I'm talking about for New Orleans curved.
Okay, but for New Orleans,
60 degrees.
it's still not 23 degrees.
How are you getting those degrees? Like, you haven't shown me how you're getting it.
Oh, okay.
He's just eyeballing it with a compass, dude. How many times does he have to say it?
Okay, it sounds like what he did was he picked a point at equinox during, say, the longest, or the spring equinox, and he calculated the degrees relative to that point throughout the year. That sounds like what he did.
He didn't calculate shit, Lemon. He said he just eyeballed it.
Okay, it's an eyeball measurement.
He doesn't even take a picture of where he's taking a picture from.
Take a picture. Okay, so you're eyeballing it and coming up with these exact degrees.
Well, I can't eyeball it in the winter because it's summertime now. Well, it's not summer anymore.
This clown eyeballed it at due north in the
approximately more north, yeah.
I know.
It's not stupid. Do you have any idea what due north means, RAQIA? Any clue? Do you have a clue what due north means?
Yeah, true north, due north.
It means 0 degrees, right, curve?
Well, yeah, due north is 0. Yeah, 360. Due north.
Towards north, more north, northwest than west.
Then you go a little bit east.
All right, RAQIA, what is west? What is
direction?
What's the number for west?
I just gave it to you.
RAQIA. What's the azimuth degrees for west? Come on. Do you know it, RAQIA?
He did say 270. It was difficult to make out.
Oh, yeah, it's difficult for me
All
to
right.
make out.
Now, the farthest north the sun sets for you is roughly about 300. That's 30 degrees north of due west.
Yeah,
that
I
is
said 330 earlier. I think that's wrong.
Hey, fuckwit. Motor
And then I
mouth.
came back and
That is
corrected
60 degrees shy of due north. Do not say, well, it's more due north. No, it's more west.
Northwest. Yeah.
It's more northwest than it is north. Much more.
You're right. That's why I came back and said I did a more accurate while I'm sitting here in my boat where I think it says.
You haven't done anything accurate. You've done nothing accurate. You still don't even know where the sun is right now.
It's in 270 degrees west. It's almost due west.
Yeah, master navigators just eyeball it.
And where's it gonna set today?
I'm not navigating right
Oh, it's gonna set 60 degrees of north, wherever that is.
I didn't say that. I
You
said
did.
the difference in the
You said that
winter.
like 3 times, and I asked you what you meant by that.
Hello, the difference between summer and winter set is about 60 degrees for me, is what I said.
But that's not what you said. You said 60
let me say it again.
degrees of north.
Let me say it one more time.
How do you
In
know
the
it's
winter,
the
it
actual
sets under
degrees
my
if you
bridge,
just eyeball it
which
and you
is
don't
due
get
west.
How does it get under the bridge?
And in the
If
winter,
you just take
because
the
it goes
picture
away
from
from
a random fucking ass point on the water.
Is Stacy
No,
fact
I'm on
checking
my
with
pier.
you for us?
Obviously, the sun puts
Where's
on a
Stacy?
harness.
We need
I'm
her
on
fact
my
checking
pier
with
where I
you.
take my sunset photos every day. Where I'm going to be in about 2 hours and 15 minutes taking a beautiful sunset.
Hey, RAQIA. I have a quick statement for you.
Or 2 hours now.
You're fucking retarded.
Good, man. Thank you.
Good one, Mad Dog.
And you're a liar.
Yeah, whatever.
It's true.
All I hear is you lying.
That is true.
Ranties. I
It
hear
is
lying
true.
to Seven,
It is true.
Yeah,
His
y'all
lies
need
are
me
true.
to be.
lying on
Y'all
stream.
weird. Y'all weird.
Liars.
Yeah,
If I was a liar.
we're very weird.
If I lied about everything, to call somebody a liar is just weird, man. You have no
You
argument.
said the sun goes under the bridge. How's it get under the bridge?
It appears to. Yeah, it goes away
Like
from
Tuckett's
the
head
light
under the
does.
bridge,
As you
or-
go further,
It
as
always
you
goes under
go
the same
away
bridge
from a
part
light.
every day.
No, it doesn't. In the wintertime, it starts in one spot, and as it gets like January, February, it moves to the north.
All people, all places, it sits under that bridge.
And then the summertime, it sets more towards the north.
In that bridge. Watch out, cars. Here comes the sun.
What happens if you're not at that exact same point on the water? Do you see it set at the
I'm
same
not
point
on the
bridge?
water, sir. I'm on a pier where I go every day and take a sunset picture. Are y'all morons?
Right, so there's the ground observation with the time and date data matching correctly. So now we can know that the data provided that I spoke about will work for just New Zealand alone. You need to test it in your local zone and map out that sun for us so that we can start adding the sun and its movements to a flat Earth model. Thank you.
New Zealand's a fake place. Next.
Time and date lies about Nolans.
No.
He did say outer circuit without any proof, so we'll see how that goes.
Why is the outer circuit? Why is the outer circuit the same length as the inner circuit? That's a fun one. Go ahead and drop something, RAQIA.
I don't know.
You honest guy, you.
I don't know. It's
You
not my honest
super
nature.
intelligent
Ignorance
genius.
is bliss.
Boy, y'all.
That's how circles work, Curve. They're all the
Wait, hold on,
same
Curve.
size.
Curve, you're
Concentric
forgetting it's easier to
circle.
say. I don't know.
All the same size, different radius, but same circumference.
Yeah, if it was in the atmosphere, I would say it would change size like other things do in the atmosphere. But being
You
out
know
of the
why
atmosphere,
you would say that?
and to say it doesn't change angular diameter is wrong because even scientists say it does.
No, it doesn't change to any significant degree.
Oh, okay, but it does change.
3% per year. We know. We know what that looks like. Thanks.
So it does change.
Everything changes.
Because of it.
Even your ugliness changes very
Yeah,
slightly.
Nice little attack there. You've never seen.
How do you know that?
It should change by like magnitudes of order if it's flat. If the Earth is flat, the sun should change by magnitudes of order every day.
You
Fact.
don't know that. It's a celestial object. You don't know how that reacts.
It's a 300%
Are celestial. Fun fact.
Celestial.
I know that for a fact.
No, if y'all want to pick on me about grammar and English and all that,
I
go right ahead. Because
telling you
I am
about
the
anything
worst. I'm talking about. I
you're
can't
an
spell a
ignorant,
lick.
arrogant fool.
I
And I
can't
will
spell a
be
lick. How's
every
that?
Why would you be proud of that?
Fuel your stupid ass.
I didn't say I was proud of it. I'm just.
Who would be proud of that? And just
I'm
like
not.
His
I'm not proud
mom's
of it.
proud. His mom's got a
God.
bumper sticker.
I don't.
My son is a flat Earth student at middle school.
I'm
Now
50.
I'm proud to see him.
Mature.
I'm
That
50,
doesn't
and to
change
bring moms
angular
into it
size
is kind of weird.
Day. The sun doesn't change angular size during the day.
Only at
It
night.
changes with a filter and without one.
Only at night.
Either way,
Look,
we
you
got you
guys-
covered.
What do you mean it
You guys
changes
have
with a
no
filter and
idea.
without one? Lemon, over what
We've
time period and
shown
what do you
footage
mean by
of it-
that?
We've shown footage of it changing daily with a filter and without one.
I would love to see a daily filter size change.
Yeah. It's 3% per
videos
year.
that I
Are you
showed
saying
before,
you
I'll
can
put 'em
see
in the chat again.
3% divided by 365? Is that what you're saying?
I just know it's pretty.
He's not gonna show any proof because it's lemon, of course.
I feel like it's gonna be going to dirt.
Lemon has his journal, dude. What are you talking about? That is proof.
Your difference over the course of any day is going to be limited to less than 4,000 miles difference in distance out of roughly 93 million. So a very hyper technical point as to whether it changes apparent size over the course of a day. Now, is that noticeable? Not really. It's very difficult to detect. Is it undetectable? No. You could detect it with sensitive enough equipment, but it's not something that's obvious and apparent.
Well said, Curve. Why?
It's fun that
celestial.
It's fun that we only have this observation from the ground and not also from, I don't know, ISS and satellites, sun observatories and all that.
Well, as it gets into the horizon, it does some strange things sometimes, depending on the conditions. Sometimes it magnifies, sometimes it appears to shrink. I don't think it actually does. It's just the atmosphere doing it.
What happens when you get up above the atmosphere and you can still witness the same consistency?
Yeah, I don't think it does it as much.
Well, your incredulity doesn't mean jack shit.
Well, why'd you ask me then?
Wouldn't it be so fun?
So they can hear you just be ignorant and proud. And just say,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Good for you.
I don't
So
know.
your entertainment. That's your entertainment. Good for you.
It actually is my entertainment.
Yeah, good for you. I knew it was because that's the script. Good for you. Go on about your day. Have fun. Have fun at my expense. It's fine with me.
I'll just make you dance.
I don't dance for any man. I promise you.
You literally just did. I asked you a question and you gave me an answer.
Nah. I'm doing.
He's gonna say, I don't know.
$10
You know that. Why are you asking me? I don't know.
I wish y'all would realize how many people DM me and say thank you for standing up for people. Thank you for
being a real American
patriot.
Show me one screenshot.
Yeah, I mean, let's do this DM.
Dance for you.
Let's do this DM.
Did you know that birds aren't
You know
real?
how many people I get DMing me telling me about RAQIA and his line?
Probably 1,000. Yeah, a bunch. Who cares?
Literally 109 DMs.
Hey, did you know that birds are fake? Yep, look it up.
I look. I've never caught a bird myself. I never held one in my damn hand.
You know how many DMs I claim that I get, and I'm not gonna ever show you.
Do you know that RAQIA took the pledge? He's a QAnon.
What's a QAnon?
You know what a QAnon is, bro. Don't act stupid.
Yeah, no, he's just playing.
He took the pledge. My grandma who doesn't even have social media.
You give me too much credit. I don't know
thinkers. Bugman's a QAnon too.
He's afraid of looking at you.
Theorists.
Lemon, when did you take the
People who
pledge?
expose pedophilia, government evil, that sort of thing.
Oh, I thought they were talking about. I thought they were talking about QE. You talking about the government thing? Yeah, I've heard of that.
He's so stupid he doesn't know the difference between QE and QAnon.
Yeah, I don't.
He loves QE too much. No, anything else with Q could be anything but QE.
I don't love QE.
They're trying to lump together
give him
all
some
the
money.
people who are
Get some
free
money.
thinkers.
Yeah, I give QE some money.
Open up your
I give a lot of
heart.
people-
Open up your pocketbook.
I give bums
Don't
on the
even know
street
the
money too.
change
Don't
the
mean I
size
love
of
them.
your picture, Lemon. It just looks like you moved the position of the sun in that line reference frame up and down.
My what?
It changes size with a filter and without one.
This one's actually already been examined and debunked.
Weak. Your debunk was weak, therefore it is represented.
No, it's
weak, even though I've taken
what's been
using
debunked?
different cameras with and without solar filters at different zooms.
Wait, what's been debunked? I missed it.
He's posted
Oh,
the picture.
Phuket World's really
Yeah,
stupid flat earth proof where he has a welding glass that's not rated for solar observations, and then he gets a bunch of shit wrong. It's already been examined and shown that he's intentionally fucking with it.
Yeah.
He lied.
Yeah.
What? Wait. A flat earther would lie about it? Wait a minute.
Everybody
He's
lies.
claiming that the
I
sun
don't-
changes size every day, soundly, and clearly it doesn't.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Why would they lie?
I've been outside. I was outside one time and I saw the sun. It didn't change shape and size. It wasn't no square.
Flat earthers can't lie. They're only concerned with the truth.
Oh,
No, they're
Go look in the mirror.
they're rooted in the Bible and Jesus. Why would they lie about it if they're speaking for Jesus?
Some people all people fall short.
Are okay.
Christians
You
fall
can
short.
lie for Jesus.
No, you
I mean,
I
look,
guess it's
the Pope
okay
did
to
it.
lie if you're lying for
That's
the
a weird
Jesus.
atheist statement. That's a weird atheist statement, not a true statement.
The Pope did it.
Yeah, whatever. Well, he
Lying
better
for
repent
Jesus.
for that.
Pope lied for Jesus.
Well, he might have repented for it. I don't know. That's up to him. Everybody falls short. All men lie. That means women too.
Oh, well and good. That doesn't mean you should lie, Dave.
No, I didn't say you should.
He's just justifying it. He's like, yeah, I lie because all men lie.
No, I'm just being honest.
I'm being honest about my lies that I don't know
Hey,
nothing
beautiful
about.
man of you. Hey, beautiful man of you. Have you ever stolen anything or lied?
Who's beautiful man?
Any one of y'all.
Bible says, let every man be a liar.
I don't steal.
Please,
Everyone
no
has stolen. Everyone lies.
RAQIA.
You know what? I stumble because we all fall short.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's what I
RAQIA,
said.
no sexual
For that reason, I was like, I better fall short today.
I haven't
Everybody
murdered
falls
no
short every
one. I
day.
haven't raped nobody. I haven't coveted anything or anyone.
Taller every year. I don't see my measurement.
Mad Dog, you're really, really low, man. It sounds like
Are you
you're
a growing boy? Are you a growing
In
boy?
a different room.
Are you old enough to be in here?
Panda, can you switch my name from Roku to like whatever my name on Discord is?
Yo, you can actually just right-click your name and change nickname.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Hey, your mic is low, man. If you want to be heard.
You should stick your mic closer to your face.
I don't want to be heard.
and
I want to
mouth
yell.
hole.
I
Okay,
have
that's
it low
better.
so I can yell.
Yell away, man.
Yell
I'm
louder.
gonna yell away.
We can barely
No,
hear you
seriously,
yelling.
do I need to yell louder?
If you yell too loud, your house is going to move 1.5 meters a day.
You'll be like Australia.
Oh wait,
I'm on the
no,
range right
was that Flat Earth Data said that, right?
Yeah.
Or some nonsense.
Yeah.
It's moving so
Yeah.
fast I can't land on it now.
And then he ran away.
Everyone was a monk.
Why you guys are
Monk. in Latin?
I'm
like how
so glad
Jazzy
you guys brought me up. I could not believe that I heard him say that Australia is moving 1.5 meters a day. That just blew my mind that someone could say something that
How
stupid.
many do we know that Mong incorrectly? That was ridiculous. He couldn't say Mong or Mong correctly.
GPS can't keep up, Brian.
You're Mang. Quit being a Mang.
Hey, I
Keep being a
posted
man.
Earth Curve at 4:52. Y'all should be happy.
Shut up, bro.
Shut
How
up.
about that? How about you shut up?
How about y'all post one picture of outside?
Why are you so
outside
desperate
in
for
nature?
attention, Rakia?
I'm
No,
bored.
he's pouring it up.
He's alone on a boat jerking off.
No, my
Negative
daughter's doing
attention
school.
is attention anyways, bro.
I don't really want the negative stuff, but I do like the debate.
Alright, let me tell you some pointless information that you don't need to know.
It. I've never heard you debate. I've just heard you fucking ramble.
My 3D printer's going really well.
Bro. Come on.
I am
Is it,
bored.
is it possible that Rakia is so dumb he thinks he's really debating?
Yeah, I mean, a debate is really supposed to be just one side asking a series of inane questions for the rest of forever. That sounds like perfect debate tactics to me.
Wow, Phil, that sun is changing shape. Holy shit. And it blew up.
Blew up,
I've
just
seen
looked
one
like a
of those in
lens
real
flare.
life, actually.
Like as the
I've
light
seen
came directly into the
I've
lens,
seen
it just
I've
flared
seen a
up. You thought it blew
meteorite-
up?
I've seen a meteorite fall in
Who
front
cares,
of me,
man? Who
about
cares?
100 yards, and they do really blow up before hitting the actual surface.
Oh, what makes them do
If I
that?
had seen it, I was scared.
What makes?
I don't know, man. Goddamn.
Why don't you
Google it.
know? It's not
How
a
about-
See,
how about
this
that?
is
How
what
about
people
you
are talking
Google it?
about. You don't have debates. You just have a series of questions that you just try to write out every time someone says anything.
This
It's the
dude
same
said he saw a
question, too.
meteor
The
fly
same
100
questions
feet in
over
front
and
of him,
over.
and it blew up before it hit the
What is gravity?
Yes.
Does anybody have the landing site of that meteor? Because the only thing I've ever seen is that same footage that we're all looking at. I've never seen it hit the ground.
First off, it's not a meteor, it's a comet. Comets don't hit the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know the difference between meteors and comets.
Well,
Oh, that's your problem.
That's on you.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about?
Imagine being that proud of being ignorant.
Wasn't that
Well,
what
here.
No, did you just say not having the right space vernacular makes you
Imagine thinking you're so smart, you come to a Discord and call people ignorant all day.
He's proud of being ignorant. I'm just commentating on being proud.
Sad.
Yeah, dude. Imagine being proud of not being able to spell and then telling everybody about it.
I didn't say I was proud of it. I said I'm the worst.
I don't have to imagine because it's happening now.
Lost at sea. We'll never have to hear your stupid ass again.
Is that
Ignorant and proud, FE 2020.
I'm not proud of not being able to spell. I just can't.
Meteors
Look,
tend to make contact.
I've never even heard RAQIA yeehaw, so I don't even know if his accent is real.
Meteorites hit the earth. Meteors in the sky.
That was it.
Joe, we need a
Indian.
Meteorite, meteor.
What's up, sheeple?
I'm saying we need a shoey.
Are you an LSU fan or an Auburn fan or a Mud Dog fan?
I'm LSU
Come on.
fan. LSU, Raging Cajuns, LSU.
All right.
Tigers, yeah.
That's
what is a Cajun?
We hate Alabama.
He spells go Geaux.
Yeah, go Tigers. And we eat mud bugs. And I'm an Indian, so that means that I eat mud bugs, and you can't hurt me.
000.
Kind of Indian.
Navajo.
I don't know. They say I'm Cherokee, but I don't know. I never really looked it up.
How could you really know if you haven't seen it yourself?
Every mixed race.
Well, I don't know what type. But definitely got Indian blood in me.
That Pluto gift doesn't even
because
line up
he
with the
believes
mouth.
people who have more knowledge than him are saying the truth. So even though he can't verify it, he just knows that the people telling him that he's 1/8 Cherokee are correct.
He has faith in the
I do have
Cherokee.
faith. I do have faith
blood.
in some things.
Yeah, he doesn't believe that NASA, which all their papers can be verified by people in other countries, are telling the truth. But somebody who plays with tarot cards out of their basement, they know more.
I never said that.
They're poker cards, not tarot cards.
So he
Well,
was
some
wrong.
of these NASA people got inspiration from the Brill Society, which was, just as, pagan and or occult, through channeling and mediums. So it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
I don't like those people.
I have no idea what you just said, Lemon.
Yeah, nobody does.
The people who founded NASA were occultists who believed the channeled, sayings of some of the
Yeah,
people.
do you have
from the Brill
evidence of this,
Society.
or you just run on your fat mouth?
People who
It
founded
links back to the
NASA.
Brill Society back in Germany.
Who are these people?
Yeah, who are these people?
The Nazi
and can you write down
paperclip
why
scientists
these particular
that link
people?
back to the Brill Society.
Brill Society? Are you talking about the Nazis?
Yeah. Yes, the Nazi progenitors of NASA. They were inspired by occultic channeling and stuff like that from the Brill Society.
In NASA, you mean? Those German Jews in NASA?
Satanists.
Whoa. That was a hard J,
Christian,
bro.
Satanists,
That was
whatever.
a hard J, Joe.
Are they Satanists?
Lemon.
I thought they were Nazis. Wait.
Lemon, how do you, what do you believe in?
Pagans, to be more exact. But Fiona Barnett went over how Nazis were doing satanic rituals in the streets.
Well,
Yeah, but were the people? Hold on, were the people who started NASA these people? Where are the documents that the exact people were doing this exact thing?
It was a good
would
deal for the
be,
United States. It was a good deal for the United States to bring Nazi scientists to the United States because they had a lot of expertise and they helped jumpstart the United States.
Who started
That is
NASA?
correct.
That's what's at,
I guess there's no redemption
in question at the moment, because Lemon seems to be asserting that it was Parsons along with
I would expect
Crowley and the depiction guy.
Well, Parsons.
As a Jew, I believe all Nazis should die.
People.
Is that what you're saying, Lemon? That L. Ron Hubbard and Crowley and Parsons started NASA?
Parsons
The
was
whole occult crowd of them. The whole occult crowd.
Can you answer a question? Can you just answer the question? Is that what you're claiming, Lemon?
No, I'm talking about the early Nazi progenitors of NASA, linking back to that occultism.
Well, Jack Parsons was pretty loopy. I mean, he really was. But just because somebody is loopy doesn't prevent them from being able to come up with a decent fuel for a rocket.
I'm still
demons
figure out
have a
who
lot of
these
knowledge.
occultists
I'm not
are
debating
that
that.
started
I'm just
NASA.
saying that they use similar occult methods that were decrying from
Except
quote
Von
unquote
Braun was a Christian,
Raqia's
so-
Indian ancestors. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Didn't Congress have something to
If they
do
use
with
similar
starting NASA?
knowledge.
No, am I
You
crazy?
didn't say anything
Wouldn't
at all.
Congress have started that? I don't know.
It's just the pot calling the kettle black. It's just a little hypocritical of even your NASA organization got, occult knowledge.
I'm not a pot or a kettle. So
Wait, Von Braun was a Christian, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
I mean, you put a Bible quote on your headstone. I mean, yeah.
Is that
Unless
before or
you have
after his
anything that
conversion?
ties Von Braun to this occult, like exact occult practices that you're talking about, or if he was affiliated with a group
Dude,
that was loosely
are
affiliated
you
with that thing.
insinuating that the NSDAP was a cult? Because they went around shutting down so many occult lodges. Talking about Lemon, you're stupid.
Joseph, remember your NDA,
Shutting
bro.
down occult lodges? What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude. Are you serious? The NSDAP went around shutting down and quite literally, in some cases, burned down Masonic lodges. And if you're gonna bring up the what was it called? Those School Society that didn't even exist.
The Braille Society.
When the NSDAP
BRIL.
took power.
Very, very odd spank bank RAQIA has. Why is he sharing?
Somebody help me. Who does Mad Dog Joe sound like and remind me of?
He's Negro Joe.
No.
Was that a picture of RAQIA? With the,
No, somebody
ass?
to come in here like I sound like a howler monkey, and that's what Mad Dog sounds like.
It's still streaming, and you don't want the YouTube algorithm to catch that up.
That's not me, Brenda. I'm fat.
We hear it. We know you're a glutton, bro. We hear it.
Yeah. I'm about 30 pounds overweight. It's all in my belly, though. I think I could lose it pretty quick if I started drinking water.
It's that typical southern. It's that southern thing, man.
It's the beer belly that I don't drink beer. I think mine's a sweet tea belly.
So, what do you do? Like do you eat a lot of bread and pastas? That could do it too.
No, I eat a lot of seafood. I eat a lot of meat and sweet tea. I think that does it.
Sweet tea's got a lot of sugar in it. It's like sugary sweet tea with more sugar added.
It's my drug of choice. I don't
He's
do
that,
drugs. I don't
he's got that
smoke or drink.
diabetes coming quick.
I'm 50, so I think
Southern obese diabetes. Here he comes.
I don't exercise. Don't eat right.
Dude, the only time I've been to the South, I was shocked how big the people are.
Whatever, that's generic.
It is no, dude. It's literal statistics, and you just walk around. It's whoa.
I guess you're right. We do eat a lot here. Everything is based on food here.
So
it's not quite something to be proud of, but okay.
I'm just saying, it's just a Southern tradition.
You know, gluttony is one of the
It's some new
deadly sins,
traditions,
right?
man, that are healthy, so you can at least live to see your grandkids do some shit.
Wait, what's the Southern tradition?
Food and being fat, apparently.
Not necessarily being fat, just food, and it just kind of comes with the fat.
I have to say that I've been through the South, and I have to say that biscuits and gravy is goddamn tasty.
Oh, there you go, Brenda. That's the best thing you said. Stein syrup and biscuits. Huh. We eat a lot of pancakes here too, waffles. Beignets.
can't take no grits though. I'm sorry.
You don't like grits?
No.
You eat a lot of McDonald's and
No.
KFC, RAQIA? Yeah.
No, I eat canes
Right
though.
there.
That's pretty bad.
You want a good meal? Go down south. Go down south for like a holiday meal, Thanksgiving, and you get sweet potato pie.
Oh yeah.
You get
I live down
turkey, and you get collard greens with ham and shit, and you just leave out leave out the chitlins as far as I'm
Stop,
concerned.
Brenda. I'm gonna start to like you.
Is this the
You can
one
come
that
down
was
anytime, Brenda, and have
Mr.
Thanksgiving with us.
show?
Dude, look at this obesity map. Like, he's right there in the
No, I'm in the
dead,
heartland.
the dead red of it.
Yeah.
He's right in between the two fattest states, Louisiana and
What the
Mississippi.
hell, Alabama? Really?
Oh yeah,
No
dude.
way.
Yeah, who's in the
No
bathroom?
way.